What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the release. To start kind of everything off, I'm not going to talk about any hot topics. Of course, there was several deaths that hit the world and NBA really hard. First of all, Chadwick Boseman, RIP. Like our prayers go out to your family, man. Rest in power. The
Yeah,
Black
bro, for real.
Panther, bro. Just
Such an
such an influence there.
impact on the game. Everyone adored him, and he's like one of the first real black superheroes,
Yeah, right.
and he gave like such hope to so many people. So
Yeah,
yeah,
Jackie
that's really sad.
Robinson, all those
Yeah,
guys, man.
yeah,
Number two, we got Cliff Robinson, legendary player. RIP. That one has hit the NBA really hard, actually.
mm,
Good player, fun guy, nice guy to be around. Hit some of the current players hard. And then John Thompson, Georgia coach.
AI's mentor. Yeah,
AI's mentor, man. AI himself said he saved his life. So
yeah,
big
man.
impact on the NBA as well. Mark Jackson posted about it. It's just really sad, man. Also, before everything, the NBA also postponed some games as a protest to kind of say something about Jacob Blake. If you guys don't know, Jacob Blake was a man trying to break up a fight between two girls. I don't really know much more other than he got shot in the back 7 times by police.
Hmm.
But yeah, so the NBA protested and took a couple games off just to show that this is a real thing and it needs to, this is a good way to get their platform out.
Hmm.
Yeah,
For sure, man.
but man, let's put that aside for now and just move on to some more uplifting stuff. So let's move on to some announcements, bro. So like I've been saying, we need topics. Okay, I still got a couple more episodes, man. But if you guys want to hear something, just drop it in the comments or DM me, man. Do whatever. Also, I am posting videos on my YouTube, so subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay. Let's get into some hot topics. First of all, this was going to make Jordan a bit happy. Brett Brown is fired.
Sir, finally, about time.
Finally,
About
man.
time. About
Yeah.
time. About
Yeah.
time.
It's just good for the 76ers, man. You like they
There's
needed
no
it.
doubt.
They
There's
needed
no
a change.
doubt they'll get a good coach too, because like
Yeah.
people want to be in
Yeah.
Philly. Like it's a sick city.
Yeah.
They got a good core. Like there's no way they're not going to be successful.
Nate McMillan is fired too. Nate McMillan got fired as well, which I don't understand personally.
No, I can see why. I can see.
I mean, like, yes,
His offense
there's
is a bit
reasons.
bland, so,
There's
yeah.
reasons, but he was still a good coach. Better than Brett Brown for sure.
Yeah.
That's what LeBron passed 7,000 playoff points and is securing his lead as the most playoff points in NBA history. He already has the most playoff points in NBA history. That is insane. That is crazy.
Yes.
Giannis Antetokounmpo, Defensive Player of the Year. I called it.
As he should be, though. Let's be
Yeah,
real.
yeah, come on, man.
Okay.
And if he wins MVP, that's historic.
Guy's a sick regular season player,
Yeah,
and I really hope the Bucks actually make a run. I don't love the Bucks. They're
yeah.
obviously a hard matchup for us, but I mean he deserves more, man.
My friend Nathan said, he came on the podcast last week. Whoever makes it out of the Celtics Raptors series is going to the finals, and I agree with that. Speaking of that series, the Raptors got smacked by like 20 points, bro.
Thank you for being able to accept that, bro.
No, bro. There's just work that needs to be done, man. That's 2 games that we've been smacked by 20, and
The offense, man.
it's the offense.
This ain't the Nets, man. This ain't the Nets, bro.
The
Celtics are
rebounding we
legit.
gotta get.
Yeah, that's facts. They have so many ways to score,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and Tice is a monster rebounder. Definitely a dark horse in the series,
You love Tice off, eh? You love him.
bro. He's good.
Yeah, he's underrated.
That's why
Yeah,
he's
he's a good
underrated
player.
as hell.
He's a
No
good
one talks
player,
about
man.
Daniel Tice, man.
Yeah,
Yeah. Brandon Ingram won MIP.
obviously.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted Bam to do it. It was super close, but at the end of the day, Brandon Ingram,
Doesn't really matter, but yeah.
yeah, it doesn't really
Yeah,
matter.
Brandon Ingram was basically a role player until now.
Both players deserved it,
Yeah.
Giannis, Kawhi, and Braun all went off in those playoff series. LeBron averaged a triple-double. Giannis averaged 31 and 16, which is stupid. And
Yeah.
Kawhi averaged, 32 and 10, something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nah, man. He takes so many shots though.
Yeah.
Like he gets the ball so many times, especially with friggin' playoff PG. You know how it is, bro.
So,
Yeah. Speaking of that, the Clippers advanced, the Lakers advanced, Raptors, Celtics, Miami, and Bucks all advanced. Second round of the playoffs for everyone is going to come soon. Yeah.
It's
Let's see
basically who
who's
you
left.
thought.
Yeah,
It's basically who you thought.
who you thought, Nuggets and Jazz go to Game 7, and so do the Rockets and OKC. Both OKC and the Nuggets forced to Game 7. Two very good games. Yesterday's game against Rockets and OKC was really close. Very interesting game.
You gotta love the Jamal Murray storyline too, bro.
Oh, my God.
Canadian boy.
Oh, my
Dropped
God.
bare points. Oh my God, he's ridiculous, bro.
I don't understand, man. He's putting up, you know what, man? Just let's move on because I don't want to get too carried away here.
Yeah, facts. These are hot topics.
Yeah. Starting it off with our very first topic, okay? This has been discussed for quite some time, and I feel like this is going to be a good one. Damian Lillard or Russell Westbrook, their beef has been going on for quite some time now. I want to know, man, who are you taking, Dame or Russ?
Man, you look at it two ways, I think. You look at it if you want to be a teammate with somebody, and obviously you want to be a teammate with Dame over a teammate with Russ.
Uh-huh.
Let's be real. You're not going to have the ball with Russ at all. But if you're looking at, star power and, who the best player is, if you're going 1v1, it's Russ.
But I'm talking about overall player, not 1v1 though. Because if it's 1v1, it's still a tough decision 1v1.
You can't get more overall than averaging a triple-double. That's ridiculous.
But yet again, he did force it.
It is forced, but, no one else on that team was a crazy star either. They're all role players.
You have players like Steven Adams who would have probably grabbed 12 rebounds a game, sacrificing literally Russell Westbrook would just body his ass out of the way just to get his 11th rebound.
But a lot of people could try for that though and still not get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you got to give that to him, and he's got more all-team selections, more all-star selections. I mean, obviously Dame had to struggle to get to the league, and you got to say that he deserves praise more than what he gets. He had to serve 4 years at Weber State, and then when he came out of there, he was kind of slept on too. So, and he still is slept on. No one talks about that guy, man.
Yeah. I love Dame, so I'm gonna say Dame. He's been one of my guys for a couple of years now. It might be a personal preference. I don't know, but I just feel like he's better. He's proved it.
Yeah.
He's the much better shooter. Still not as athletic as Russ, but still an athletic guy for a guard.
Mm-hmm.
Really good finisher. Pretty consistent.
Average wise, it's probably still Russ, but I don't know. I'd rather have Dame as my star player.
Yeah. He's also clutch as hell.
That's for real though.
Yeah, I know people like Jordan are just oh no, he's not really clutch. People say Damian Lillard's clutch and this and this and this and this, but
man, there's a reason they call it Dame time, bro.
There's a reason they call it Dame time because Damian Lillard's clutch. Jordan just got back, bro. Damian Lillard is clutch.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you. Okay, and also he knows how to handle the beef better than Russell Westbrook. Okay, that may not be.
Facts.
That may not be a whole affecting the game thing, but personally, I feel like that's just crazy how he does it. Because Russell Westbrook could be talking up, and then Dame could be talking up.
A bit too emotional.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dame will just hit him with and then Russell Westbrook will go friggin' shoot 12 for 50.
Crazy mentality, and a great attitude. I'd rather be his teammate by far.
Yeah. It's the mentality for me, man.
All right, Jordan, what are you saying?
All right. This year, I'll say Dame's the best player for this season. Had an amazing season.
Yes, sir.
Averaging 30 and 8 on a 63 true shooting percentage. Really improved his game. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, only Harden does that.
Yeah.
Also 30.
And Harden's in a league of his own scoring wise, bro.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, definitely this year. Yeah, he's been awesome. Played at an MVP level in the bubble.
Mm-hmm. Bubble MVP. This is my guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't argue
I mean,
with
if we're
that.
gonna talk about career-wise, that's a whole another conversation now. I
Yes,
mean,
sir.
Oh yeah, we said that
Yeah,
too. We
yeah,
said
yeah,
that
yeah.
too.
yeah,
We talked about
yeah,
that
That's
later.
because
that's not another Jordan kind of. Yeah.
because Mansby out here. I mean, Russ played like trash. I mean, let's just call it what it is. I'm his biggest fan, but that was pathetic. 7 turnovers.
Yeah.
Why Harden doesn't have the ball is
He's a reckless
beyond me.
player.
Tony, yeah,
Yeah,
like
pretty reckless.
the play they drew up was trash. Even though it's nothing to do
Yeah,
with
I know.
conversation, the play what they drew up was
That's
trash.
like first of all though, like Russell Westbrook when he airballed that
Yeah, that was
a
bad.
floater, that was stupid. First of all, but like
Yeah.
personally, I think that's just bad coaching by Mike D'Antoni.
Yeah, because I'm like, yo, give Harden the ball.
Exactly.
Yeah, especially being such an offensive coach. Like Harden's got the ball.
Exactly,
Got the
right?
ball like 80% of the time.
Like he's that 7 seconds or less coach. He has that coach who is just offense upon offense upon offense upon offense upon offense. So if you aren't giving arguably the best offensive player in the league the ball right now, why are you giving it to Russell Westbrook, man?
And to look at what was happening, right? Russ should have not passed the ball because if you saw the play, he had a lane to actually score a layup.
Exactly, and then he tried to hit it back to Robert Covington, which was not a bad idea because Robert Covington
No,
could
here's
hit
the
that
thing.
shot.
That was the play call, though. That was the play call, though.
I know.
That was
just
the play.
stupid.
So,
right?
Obviously, Russ deserves some blame, but Robert Covington, you need to open your eyes,
Yes.
man. I'm not sure what he thought he was supposed to do because he was going off in the game. So, I mean,
that was the play call. It's that play is kind of on both of them. Russ just threw kind of a bad pass, and Robert Covington, when his eyes weren't open. But it's just like that's just a bad play call. Because think about this: you're 2 stars, okay? Russell Westbrook's a finisher, and he can get to that basket, and he can draw the foul. Harden's a shooter, and he can get to the basket, and he can dribble, and he can draw the foul, and he can do all this. So my question, man, they just
that's why CP and Harden match so much better together, because he played Mike D'Antoni played like it was the Suns again, like it was Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire, passing, driving up, and then giving it to someone who can actually score like 90% of the time. But like 2 guys that can score, like that makes no sense to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can't take it away from the scoring champions either. Like that's ridiculous.
It'll take a while for that was just a bad play.
Yeah.
All right, so back to Dame for comparing them is more efficient. Got to give him that, especially second hand. I mean, field goal percentages are actually not that way off. Dame's better by like 1%. Overall percentage wise, way better. Not even a discussion. 3-point shooting, handles. Got to give him that. For Russ has the rebounding. Has never been a negative on defense throughout his entire career. Dame has been a negative in defense most of his career.
Yeah, he's hustle player too.
Athleticism, obviously. Yeah, man. Finishing. Passing is about the same, honestly. I mean, Dame has less turnovers, but doesn't have the same usage rate.
Yeah, that's true.
And in terms of the career, Dame just needs to have a longer career. I mean, Russ is almost a double-digit All-Star already, MVP. So
yeah,
all Dame needs to do is just play longer.
Facts.
Yeah. But to address this one thing, the Dame getting slept on thing, right? So Dame has played 8 seasons, made the All-Star team 5 times, right? So you must have said, okay, the players that made it over him must have been trash. No. I can name you every single season. 2015, 2016 All-Star team, the people that made it over him at his position were the guards, were Stephen Curry. 2012, 2013, the starters were Chris Paul and Kobe Bryant, and the bench players were Harden, Tony Parker, and Westbrook. In 2015, 2016, Curry, Kobe, and Russ were the starters, and Harden, Clay, and CP3 were off the bench. And 2016, where he didn't make it again, Curry and Harden started, and it was Clay and Russ who were off the bench. So should. If you he would have made the All-Star team every year. Yeah.
Oh, that West Conference is stacked, especially backwards, man.
Think about that though.
He's not gonna make
Kobe
it.
is in there, okay?
Twice.
It's hard to make it over those guys. I'm not. R.I.P. Kobe, man. But I'm not trying to say. Listen, I don't think Dame. I think right now Dame is better than Russ.
Yeah, right now.
But like you said, career-wise, Russ has more accolades and he has the better career. You know.
Especially college too. Like he impressed way more. He was like Pac-10 Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Like you got to give it to him there.
Winning playoff record. It's crazy. You think that his record would be trash in the playoffs? Actually, it's a
Yeah,
winning
I know,
playoff record,
right?
which is something that a lot of players like John Stockton, Chris Paul, Steve Nash, Damian Lillard, they don't have that, right? So I mean, who else
Yeah.
have it? Kevin Garnett doesn't have a winning playoff record for. Yeah, it's
And he has a
crazy.
chip. Like,
Yeah, he's a chip. Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
yeah,
All the struggles in
yeah. So
Minnesota. Anyway,
yeah,
bro.
but the Dame's obviously better right now. Let's say more skilled
Yeah.
player, career by Russ. I don't think it's as far apart as everybody likes to say it is, but
yeah.
got to give Dame his credit this season. Really good. Yeah, better
Yes, sir.
season. 100%.
Don't really know how to connect these two, so I'm gonna just get straight to it. The draft lottery was recent. What do you guys think the draft order means for these lottery teams?
You go, Jordan. You go first, bro.
Okay. So let's talk about the most important one. Let me just get the first pick out the way. Timberwolves. They could have a solid big three in the future.
It's a good pick, man.
But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the Golden State Warriors, second
Golden
overall
State.
draft pick.
Okay.
They can use
They have
that.
multiple things. So yeah, I think they're actually going to trade it. I have a feeling that they're going to trade it. I was at first thinking they're going to draft someone, but I think they're going to trade it because also don't be surprised if one of the Sixers' top two players end up on the Warriors in the draft.
Ooh, just
I'm saying Simmons
Okay.
and Embiid, they may want to try and get that rebuild starting quicker.
yeah.
Embiid
Especially getting rid of
they
Brett
both
Brown.
fit really well.
Yeah, man.
They both fit really well on the team. Yeah, but if they do take a draft spot, they should draft either Wiseman or Edwards if he's still available.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
For real, man. I think Edwards will still actually be in the. I think he'll be first. He'd be such a great fit for Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. He's got a lot of tools. But for me, I think this means the most for the Hornets, man. Especially if they can draft a guy like Melo. I mean, they have Devontae Graham with their biggest output, and he's not like he's a good player, but
Now he's not good enough to pass up Melo on. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
For sure. And Melo's gonna get the ball so much on that team. So yeah, you could look out for him. And man, Wiseman has everything. Has won everything until the NBA, and he could slot in ahead of Marquise Chris in that Warriors lineup if he wanted to.
Definitely.
I think for sure. I mean, he's sick. But
yeah.
Anthony Edwards too, man. This is a sick draft class, and
Yeah.
a lot of these players can go on and do great things. So
Yeah, man. Man, I'm gonna just get this out of the way. The Knicks are screwed, bro. Man, they got the 8th pick.
Yeah.
That's sad, man.
That's actually I think it's a good thing. You know why? Because this draft class compared to other ones in last year.
Yeah. This draft class is amazing, but it's not like they're gonna pick up someone like Anthony Edwards.
To be amazing.
Yeah, Cade Cunningham.
So they could potentially get a top 3 pick.
Yeah.
So I mean, in that draft class,
yeah, and it's not like it's not like they're gonna draft someone like Anthony Edwards or like Melo, you know. But it's still not a bad pick. It's still a top 10 pick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good news for the Warriors. I personally want them to take the pick and draft James Wiseman.
Mm-hmm.
It would be great for them in my eyes. It would be a great addition to their team, or they can trade that pick and get a good, nice asset.
Okay.
It's pretty much good for the top 5 picks. All of them could use it, and all of them could benefit off of it. Chicago, the Hornets, just beneficial.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, Chicago could contend for a playoff spot next year.
Yeah, man. I hope they do, man.
Yeah.
Freaking KOT4Q's been suffering. So we just talked about the lottery and the kind of draft. So I want to hear you guys what do you guys think about the top prospects for the draft? Who do you guys think they are?
Okay, so it's obviously the top 3 of Melo at 3rd, and then James Wiseman and Anthony Edwards. Kind of I don't know who's going to go 1st and 2nd there. To be honest with you, whatever those teams need, or if they want to trade them away for bigger assets, right? But someone that gets slept on, there's guys lower down the line, like a guy like Isaac Okoro. He's really a good player. But, I literally just found this guy today. He's coming from the EuroLeague, come from Maccabi Tel Aviv in Israel, and his name's
Oh, I know
Denny
you're talking about.
Avdia.
Yeah.
That kid's sick. He's 19.
Yeah.
He's already showing up in EuroLeague. He's tough. He's a two-way player, man. And dude, there's so many people that come out of EuroLeague that are good already.
Yeah, no, he's going crazy.
Like, I mean, that's a harder league than what Melo has played in NPL. So, and
played
he's
better
proven
in
himself.
the league as well. So.
Yeah, he averaged like 13 points, six rebounds, 3 assists, which is like a pretty good stat line. And he's 19, so
Yeah.
you got to look at that kid, man.
There's only room to improve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a
All right,
slept-on
I'm
pick for
gonna
sure
start
down the
with
line.
hella controversial statement right here. Denny will have a better career than LaMelo. Yeah, I'm gonna say that.
I don't mind that
say
actually. I'm okay with you saying that.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I mean, we're in the same camp with LaMelo.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not a terrible player. He's still being an all-star.
Melo's not bad.
Like,
Like,
I don't think he'd be a perennial all-star.
he's a consistent 14 and 10 and
Yeah.
like 6 type of player, but you know, I don't know, just consistency problems.
Yeah, man.
And his shot IQ's a problem, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, because Lonzo at least didn't have that problem, while he does. And he looks great off the highlights and stuff. But if you look at the percentages and if you actually were to watch the full game,
they're called highlights for a reason.
For a reason, exactly. Thank you.
Yeah, like I'm literally like I was looking on there's this really good draft website called tankathon.com and it shows like all of his stat weaknesses and it's every single percentage.
Yeah.
Every single percentage is terrible for
percentage.
him. Like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I'm gonna get stuff off like James Wiseman. Just dominance, that guy. Great defender, great on offense. 18 and 10 type of dude, you know?
Big guy too, man.
Big guy, bro. Anthony Edwards, he's a walking bucket. He's crazy athletic. You know, Denny, two-way, got great stats. You guys already said that all. And
great basketball IQ.
Yeah, great basketball IQ, man. It's insane. Yeah. And I hate to say it, but LaMelo Ball, like I just said, he's a 14 points, 10 assists, 6 rebounds type of guy because he's tall and he plays a point guard. He's inconsistent, but he's a good point guard, man. He can be an asset to many teams. Nobody's talking about my guy Obi Toppin, bro. Come on.
I think he's gonna fall in the draft.
You think he's gonna fall, eh?
Hard?
I think he's gonna be. I think he's still gonna be a lottery pick, but like, come on.
No, but I think the Knicks are gonna get him with the 8th pick. I don't think teams are gonna be.
Yeah. No, I don't think he's gonna be a top 5 pick, but like, cause think about it. You got Anthony Edwards, you got LaMelo, you got James Wiseman, you got Denny. Who else you got? You got Cole Anthony. Like, you got all these guys, you know.
People also got to remember he's a year older than most of the top draft picks.
And he didn't play on a and he didn't play on a crazy university either.
Yeah,
like,
where'd he play? He
Dayton. He played on Dayton.
Yes, Dayton. That's what it was.
And Dayton's like he's gonna get the ball up more often than say James Wiseman on Memphis and stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, like you know, he's athletic. You know, he can be somewhat dominant. He's an okay shooter. He can give you your stats and he can give you stuff. He could be a good player. But like something about him, because
really good role player.
Yeah, something about him just gives me like a Jackson Hayes type of vibe. Like not in the type of play style, but they were big coming into the draft and they kind of fell and just became role players and didn't really get that much time, which I hate to see from both Jackson Hayes and potentially Obi Toppin. But you know, it just happens sometimes.
It does. I think Edwards would be the best player in this draft, though. I think Edwards.
Ooh, yeah, hands down. You know.
Yeah, he's athletic. He can.
Minnesota.
He can shoot. He can drive. Like.
Yeah.
He's.
So we just talked about the lottery, and we just talked about the new players coming in from the lottery and the prospects. These new players coming up, you know, it's a little early to say this, but you know what? It's time to make some predictions, man. You think any of these new players coming into the 2020 draft class, do you think any of these guys will be able to break the top 50 of all time? Like, it's hard to say now. Like, of course you got to see them play more, but what do you guys think, like, in terms of potential?
Yeah, Jordan, you got this.
All right. Oh, yeah. So, okay. So, yeah, they're definitely will. I think this would be the best era of basketball that we've ever seen, the 2020s.
Yeah, man. This draft class is dangerous.
Yeah. Okay. So for the players, I think that will break the top 50. Giannis, obviously, Luka,
Of course.
AD, Jason Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
Controversial and maybe a surprise one, Kristaps Porzingis. I think him and Luka win a lot of chips, and he will be a great second option. And you're gonna have to put him in the top 50.
Okay.
Yeah. He may not be a superstar.
That one's hard.
Second options that win a lot of chips. Second
Yeah.
options that win a lot of championships.
Scottie
Think about
Pippen.
Scottie Pippen, right?
Yeah,
he's
Scottie
an amazing
Pippen.
player, but he's not a top 20 all-time talent. Let's just be honest. He's not top 20.
And Kristaps had those all-star appearances, man.
Yeah. Also, I think Ben Simmons will make it in there. Trae Young, Ja, Bam, and Denny. And yeah, I think Denny will be top 50.
I like this. I like those.
Okay.
I like those picks, man.
I mean, you got Giannis, easy, obviously.
Yeah.
A guy like Jason Tatum. I like a guy like Jaylen Brown even. He can blossom into a really, really good player. I mean, not many more that you haven't said. I mean, yeah, Kristaps, obviously Luka and Ja and even Trae Young, but I mean that's interesting. Kristaps can develop into a kind of guy like a Dirk type of player and maybe lead the Mavs to maybe even a chip with that duo, which would be massive.
Yeah. Man, I pretty much said everyone that Jordan and Michael said, but I'm this. I always say this, man. This may be biased, but Pascal Siakam, man, he has the potential to get into the top 50. Like I said, it's gonna be hard because you look at all the players not in the top 50, like they're crazy, right? But it's gonna be hard. But I truly feel like he has a potential. I don't think he has an MVP coming, but I feel like he has another championship coming. Maybe not this year, but in the next couple of years, Toronto has another championship, or even just Pascal if he decides to leave Toronto. I pray to God he doesn't, but. That guy.
Yeah.
Denny. I wrote Denny down as well. Same reasons as Jordan. And I also said Anthony Edwards is a potential player. Best player coming into the draft this year. He has the potential.
Yeah.
So we just talked about Siakam going into the top 50 potentially. Raptor. That would put him on the top 10 greatest Raptors of all time. No, so. But he's not the greatest yet. Who do you think the greatest is? So the question is, who is truly the greatest Raptor of all time?
Okay, so production-wise and obviously, meaning in terms of getting a chip is going to be Kawhi, but it's not, obviously. I mean,
he may be the best.
He may be the best to put
greatest.
on the yeah, but he's not the greatest at all.
Difference between the best and greatest is huge.
Yeah, I think Kyle Lowry is way farther up there. I think he's probably second. But in terms of culture and everything, it's obviously Vince, man. It's got to be Vince. I think this is consensus for all of us three. I mean, he made Toronto a basketball city.
He put us on the map.
Yeah. I can't even say anything else, man. That dunk contest speaks for itself.
All you need to do Kyle Lowry.
Yeah,
Kyle Lowry is the greatest Raptor of all time. The leader of the team that went to the championship.
Yes.
Been there for the longest. In terms of talent, Kawhi and Vince Carter are obviously the best two. Pure talent, share alone. I don't think that's a discussion. I don't think so. But Kyle Lowry definitely deserves it.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, man. Those top two, those guys are interchangeable for sure.
Yeah, I actually couldn't decide between Vince or Lowry. I said Vince changed the Toronto game forever. He put us on the map. I just said that he took us to multiple playoffs after being madly slept on. Come on, man. Lowry, although maybe not the playoff performer that Vince maybe was, but leader of a great team. Multiple playoff seasons, multiple All-Star appearances, and he's been the leader of this team for a while, man. You can't have nothing but respect.
Oh yeah,
for that guy.
I mean, obviously, I would even. This is a bit controversial, but I've even put DeMar over Kawhi, just because.
In terms of greatness.
Yeah, if we're looking at, I measured this when I thought about this. I measured this by who do I picture in a Raptors jersey.
Yeah.
And I said, well, it's Vince first in that classic '90s throwback jersey. And then it's Kyle, but then it's DeMar. Like he was.
Yeah.
We were constant playoff. We'd make the playoff at a lower speed, and he would kind of make us believe. And we didn't have the pieces then, obviously, but I mean, he deserves a lot more credit in the Raptors jersey, I feel.
For a final one, this one kind of just relates back to what we were talking about in the beginning. For the first segment we did. So before the playoffs resumed, the NBA kind of took a break for a couple 2-3 days, and as like a protest against the Jacob Blake shooting and all that, and the systemic racism. There we go. That's what it is. Systemic racism. That's what it is. Yeah, yes. I'm not good with the words, but yeah. And it was just kind of like a stand. And do you guys think like that was worth it? Do you guys think that did something, or do you guys like what's your opinion on them just protesting and then all of a sudden just coming back like that?
I mean, it's debatable whether it impacts like it impacts people and people are just like, oh, like they sent their message, but I feel like they would have more to say if they played and if they wore things that campaigned their true message and they really took like time and like there was, because when they played, there's so much of a national audience and an international audience that they could see what they're really campaigning for, and kind of a moment of silence or a kneel would really kind of get their message out more for sure than I think just a suspension of play.
All right. Man, I always remember talking to David about this, and I have stuff to say, man. So
yeah, it kind of pissed me off.
Like, start off, I saw what they were doing.
I'll
give them credit. It looked great, but honestly, they fooled us. Look, let's be honest. Why they came back? Not because they want to support the message or whatever, right? They came back because of money. The NBA said, okay, you want to play, you don't want to play, that's cool, but 25% of your salary next year is being cut, and the CBA is being gone. So now, if you're a true social justice warrior like a Muhammad Ali, or like a Bill Russell, or a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, what's 25% LeBron of $38 million? I mean, hey, that's still a lot of money.
Still making millions.
So I'm still trying to figure out. You want to say you all this and that, but when a little money. Here's the thing: it's great to be a social justice warrior when it doesn't cost any money.
Yeah, that's true, man.
It is, man.
Like once it does, all these people now they say, "Oh, now we want to play."
Ali didn't even go to the Vietnam War. And he had to pay for that. He had to pay massively for that. And
he did.
And he was seen by basically half the public as a coward, but he got his message across way more than a social justice warrior like LeBron or like any of these players now, man.
And also, they're hypocrites. So you know how they tell everybody to vote? 80% of them are not registered voters.
Exactly.
That's ridiculous.
80%.
We look at they want to be impartial for the brand, and it's like the NBA is so much more of a brand than it is an organized league. It's just it's about promoting players and promoting and jersey sales and ticket prices, and it's like it's so much. It's gone astray of what it actually means. Like they want to be impartial and they want to be viewed as kind of just these. I'm just a basketball player. I'm not anything else. But like you have the platform for it. Like you got to do it.
Okay, I'm gonna take this a step further. I'm gonna take this a step further. Get into some politics.
Okay.
Right, so guess what's happening right now in America? The elections, right?
Yeah.
So one thing you notice every once in 4 years, Black Lives Matter. Once the elections turn on, because the Democratic Party, that's what they like to do. Look, if it wasn't for the black vote, the Democratic Party wouldn't exist. It's just keep it a buck. 90% of
Well,
black people vote for
no,
Democrats.
I don't know. I don't know about that though. I mean, their policy and
Hmm.
their like they like the like what they do for the public and how they invest their money into real things
Hmm.
and support people. I mean, they've like obviously without the black vote, they wouldn't get elected as
Yeah.
much. But I mean, they're still the better party for sure, and they still would stay afloat for
And
the
also, if
group
we're
of
gonna be
people.
honest, in history, right, they've enacted a lot of rules that have destroyed black people, like the crime bills. That was Democrats. Redlining, which didn't allow black people to move out of bad neighborhoods and didn't allow them to get like bank loans. Those are all Democratic policies.
Yeah.
It was the Democratic Party that still wanted to continue having slavery. It was the Democratic Party that input Planned Parenthood, which has killed over hundreds of thousands of unborn black children. Right. So let's just be clear. If you want to vote for them, that's cool. But the situation of what black people in America now, for a lot of people, it's because of their policies.
Yeah.
Right. And
Mhm.
now they have to go backtrack. And this is why the NBA is taking notice. I'm sure the Democrats have put some money into their pocket to say don't vote for Trump, right? And this is why people do not want to watch the NBA right now. Not because
Yeah.
they're not racist, it's just people don't want to see political views be forced on them. That's why their ratings are at an all-time low. Like you can
Yeah.
look it up if you want to. The ratings have been
Oh
lower
yeah.
than it's ever been before. Yeah. So
But I mean,
yeah,
the party now is doing
just
more
keeping
for
it real.
the party now is doing more for the black community than it ever has. I mean, they're campaign
Yeah, I mean,
like
yeah.
they're signing charters to commit to defunding police and
Hmm.
to like unemployment rates and things like that. But I mean, it's all a game of
Unemployment
give and
rates
take. And
from. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Go
what?
ahead. Oh,
Oh,
okay. I was about to say. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, it's all just a give and take between parties. But I mean,
Yeah.
seeing
Hmm.
what Donald Trump is now and how autocratic and how much he wants to kind of keep it for
Yeah.
himself. I mean,
Hmm.
you can't elect that anymore for sure.
I mean, you got to remember the guy's a billionaire. He's a capitalist, right?
Mhm.
So I mean, they like lower taxes. All right. Yeah. Okay. So to go to your point about defunding the police and changing stuff in the system, I 100% agree with that. That needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
Not all races. Yeah. Police brutality is definitely an issue,
Uh-huh.
but we need to not confuse defunding with reform.
Mm.
What we all want is to reform the police.
Yeah.
Oh,
But I
I'm
want to
not.
let people know this. Defunding the police has never worked for our city. It's just increased crime. Because that's taking away police officers. People want big cams, so police officers can be held accountable and stuff like that.
Mhm.
If you cut the budget, that will all be gone. The training, the more training that you want for police officers to have for background
Oh,
checks, those all cost money.
I support reform. I mean, they don't need this much money
Yeah,
for equipment and the much power that's
Yeah.
been bestowed on them, and then the fact that they have
yeah.
like less training than so many things. It's ridiculous. So yeah, I do support reform, but with that, there has to be some money taken out and put into things like schooling and things because like the
Hmm.
Los Angeles, their city budget has 52 or 53% going to police. Like that's a bit ridiculous, man.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's got to go into
Yeah,
different things.
it is tough though, right? Because you want to put things into other things.
It's
Yeah, but it's obviously tough. And again, you don't want crime to have a spike.
yeah.
It's definitely again, I'm not a politician, so I mean that's their job to figure out, right? But
Yeah, and it's a tough
yeah, it's
decision
definitely
everywhere.
difficult.
But I mean, the Democratic Party is the only party that is talking about that at all, right? You
Yeah.
know, Trump doesn't
Yeah, I
talk
mean,
about
yes,
that at all.
yeah, true.
Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah, he
yeah,
doesn't really care about the police reform.
but taking it back to the NBA, I do agree with you that people don't want politics. They want more basketball, and that's why the ratings are
Yeah.
so low. But it's tough.
Yeah. Like
I don't know.
I support what they were trying to do. I realized that they were trying to get a point across, but seriously, if you're trying to get your damn point across, take the damn pay cut. Like, look at Colin Kaepernick. This man can't even play anymore.
And people know
Like-
Colin Kaepernick is way more of a social justice warrior than
Exactly.
anybody in the NBA now.
Like, you can refer to him as a social justice warrior.
Oh yeah.
But then
And
if
he's
you look at
donated money to donations and stuff.
yes, like if you ask a new football fan that just found out who Colin Kaepernick is, and you say, okay, who is Colin Kaepernick? What does he do? They're gonna say, well, he used to play in the NFL, but he left because he was kneeling in the national anthem for Black Lives. If you ask someone who LeBron is, he's a basketball player who was the second greatest of all time, right?
Yeah, I mean, Colin
Exactly.
Kaepernick chose to leave the NFL, right, to go promote the cause. He didn't get thrown out. Like I'll argue with this. People, you could really look it up. He opted out of his contract. There's a difference between you opting out and getting cut.
But the same thing is though, no one wants to take a chance. No one wants him back. You know, they don't want to take a chance on him because they don't want to be different.
But yet again, the NFL is ran and owned by racist people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, true. And there's other factors, right? Like he had an opportunity last year. 25 teams are going to Atlanta to go see him. And he decided 3 hours before to say, no, I'm not going to play here, and decides to go play at some school, right? So, I mean, I would love for him to get a job, but again, you don't you're not a talented enough player anyways to demand that type of, like, can you imagine, right?
Listen,
just a role player. Because what he's getting is a backup quarterback spot, right?
Like, we understand what he's trying to do, and yes, it's amazing. Yeah. Because you're doing this and you're one of the first people in the NFL and like to actually take action on this, do not be self-entitled. Okay? Don't be like don't be going around doing that.
He is a bit entitled, right? And that's why teams don't want to sign him.
Yeah. Man, it's like
definitely deserves a job, but
But going back to it though, people definitely know Colin Kaepernick as someone who kind of sacrificed a lot more for the cause than anybody else.
Yeah.
And you got to give him credit for that.
He's doing stuff to help out now. Yeah, I agree with that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And a lot of NBA players have to do that more.
100%.
For sure. Yeah, so.
I love the NBA, and I will eternally be a fan of the NBA. It just kind of, makes me think, like, what the hell are you doing when they try to get involved in politics and Black Lives Matter? But then, like Jordan said, a pay cut comes, and then they're like, oh, well, we did what we could.
I'm
gonna put it this way. To me, I remember saying this to someone, right? I called it like an Oscar-worthy type performance by these players. They pretended that they were really going to sacrifice everything. That's what it is. Let's keep it a buck here. So when LeBron James and everyone wants to talk about social justice, I don't know who you are. I know what you represent now.
That's true.
See, anything you say will not be taken serious by a lot of people anymore. And that's what messed up.
That's a fact.
Like, and to the whole, like, racism part of it, they're standing up for racism. And I know people are going to be watching this, and they're like, well, how is that racist? The dude had a knife, and he had multiple charges.
Yeah.
This isn't even about the NBA anymore. I just want to say this. It's not up to the cop to decide whether someone dies or not.
Yeah, you have
it's up to the government. It's up to the jury.
But you have to be an immediate threat for a police officer to use guns. Listen, which he wasn't.
They go to school. So people can't look at me dead in the face and say it's not racism because they go to school. Cops go to school to learn how to disarm people with guns and knives and bats and whatever hell weapon they have. So you're telling me that they can't disarm a dude with a knife? So instead of just even if they weren't able to, instead of immobilizing him, shoot him in the leg, shoot him in the foot, whatever, immobilize him. But instead of putting him in critical condition and popping him 7 times in the back, you can't look at me dead in the face and say that's not racism.
But there is, of course, it's racism, and there's no way it can't be dealt with words, especially because he wasn't being violent.
Yes,
I harken back. I mean, Canada has its own problems, but
not like that.
Yeah. We had that truck attack in Toronto, and the guy, he was mentally unstable and way more of a threat. He just killed many people, and he he got down to the ground, and we didn't have to fire a shot. So there's definitely way better ways of doing things, and it has to be addressed for sure.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
definitely a lot of
it's
bad cops out there, right?
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Also a
it's
lot of
not
good
like
cops out there, but
yeah.
Oh
the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
bad cops.
Listen,
They
it's
really
not
ruin
right to
reputation.
it's not right to say every cop is bad and every cop is racist. But then like
Yeah.
you can't also go around saying every cop is good, man. It just
No,
it
obviously
just
not.
pisses me off because like these cops are out here. I saw this Instagram post and like these cops are claiming to be Christians and they're all doing this. And it said, how can you claim to love God but you can't love his creation?
hmm
100%.
And it's just like it's just really stupid to me. Like I just said, you can look someone dead in the face and say the cop shooting Jacob Blake in front of his kids 7 times in the back is not racist.
Of course, and
When
yeah,
they're meant to train these people, right? Like, and then even with the protests, that dude who killed 2 people and injured like 2 others,
He's fine.
he's fine. Yes, he
Yeah.
was getting charged at and stuff, but
but
he said he was going there to protect. First of all, when you see a dude, I swear he didn't have a gun license or something like that. I don't think he had a license, right? And he's not even old enough to hold the gun in that stage, in that state.
All right.
So
crime already.
Crime already. But just think about this. If you are a Black Lives Matter protester and you see a dude walk in with an AK-47 getting handed water by police and saying thank you, getting his hand shook, are you not going to be a little bit suspicious? And come on. Now, I'm not saying it was right for the people to charge at him because, like, if he didn't shoot him, that guy was going to get put in serious condition. But, like, you can't say that's not a crime for shooting people, like, for shooting the people either, even if there's self-defense, you know?
Yeah.
For police officers, there has to be self-defense. You can't just get mad and just shoot them. Just call it what it is. They got pissed at Jacob Blake, right?
Yes,
you tried to take him down a few times.
You're not listening to me. Like, no. It's you're not listening to me, and you threaten, and you say, okay, I will have to tase you, which they did, and it didn't work. Or I will have to tackle you. Or if it goes far enough, I will have to shoot you in the leg. Not 7 times in the back.
Yeah, there's definitely methods, and
yeah.
You said a bunch of different weapons and different things to de-escalate, but I mean, no one's just talking. I mean, he wasn't violent towards the police at all. I mean, there's no reason why he can't be talked down, and the whole thing can be de-escalated. Yeah, exactly.
And they follow him, grab him by the shirt. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why they would shoot him. They could have just taken them from there. Like, there was no need to shoot him when he was walking to the car. He would have just been able to put him onto the car, arrest him. It's all good, right?
There you go. But I mean, that's
judgment.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say though,
yeah,
right? Like, again, he obviously didn't deserve to get shot, but why are you walking to the car with the kids in the car? Like, I'm still trying to figure it out. It's not like I don't think a good parent would put their kid in that danger, right?
And I'm not trying to act like that guy was completely innocent too, because like he didn't deserve to get shot, but still, he's not completely innocent.
Of course, all these guys like George Floyd had, like he was obviously doing something illegal, but I mean it's nothing that warrants any type of decision like that.
He deserved to die. Right.
Yeah, like I just said, it's
I know, exactly.
No matter what your charges are, no matter what you've done, it's not up to you to determine someone's life.
Mm-hmm.
Their life.
It's a totally different story.
That they're living with their kids, with their families, and they're screaming out for help. And you're killing them on the spot, knowingly. You're attempting to kill them. You're attempting to kill them.
Mm-hmm.
That is not up to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm going to say. They could have whatever charges, but come on. It's not up to you.
Now, it's going to be interesting to see if these police officers get charged, right?
Yeah.
Because George Floyd's officers are most likely going to get charged, right?
Yeah.
Even though there's a lot of evidence they could use to maybe try and get him out of it, no, he's going to get charged.
Yeah,
obviously.
it's not. Yeah.
This case, on the other hand, is not as clear cut though. It's not as clear cut though, right? Because you can't use because George Floyd he was on drugs, so he wasn't aware. And you noticed that and you didn't do anything. That's one thing. He seemed unconscious. He wasn't able to focus correctly. And again, kneeing someone, that's the worst way to die like that, man. That must put
I
your
don't even
knee
want to
on someone's
imagine it.
neck.
Yeah, I don't want to imagine it. Anyway.
Yeah, it's crazy, yeah.
Yeah, man.
But it's going to be interesting, though, to see how this case, what they do with this.
Yeah.
Well, for
And
sure.
what's going to happen to Jacob Blake. Yeah, and the officer.
Yeah, just to end everything off, our prayers go to the families of the victims of shooting and the racism this year, especially. And also, to the other deaths that have happened, Chadwick Boseman, Cliff Robinson, John Thompson, man, our love goes out to your families. You guys may not see this, but still, yeah, man.
Mm.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching.